I hope everyone's connected now. Welcome to the press conference following the VTC on COVID coordination and health. Welcome to the President of the European Council and to the President of the European Commission. I first want to point out that we've just released today's statement on COVID coordination, so please check our website on behalf of the 27 member states. And I first turn to the President of the Council. Please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Today we focused on 5 critical areas in our fight against COVID-19. Vaccinations, new variants, travel restrictions, vaccine certificates and international solidarity. We also discussed the lessons learned from this crisis to strengthen our health systems and improve our European coordination. Our top priority now is speeding up the production and delivery of vaccines and vaccinations across the European Union. And that's why we support the Commission's efforts to work with industry to identify bottlenecks, guarantee supply chains and scale up production. And we want more predictability and transparency to ensure that pharmaceutical companies comply with their commitments. The second topic is the new variants. We face new mutants, new variants, so we need to adapt our strategy. We must continue to identify mutations as early as possible, and that's why enhancing our sequencing capacity is key to these efforts. And we need to continue to invest in vaccine research to update our vaccines. The third point, travel restrictions. When it comes to travel, we need to respect the common approach we agreed. Non-essential travel may still need to be restricted, but measures should be proportionate. And we must ensure the flow of goods and services in the single market by making use of the green lanes. I trust the Commission to make sure that these principles are respected. We also discussed vaccination certificates, and we agreed to continue our work on a common approach. Of course, more work needs to be done on digitalization and on cooperation with the World Health Organization. But we felt tonight more and more convergence among us about this important topic, and the European Council will revert to this matter. Solidarity. This pandemic is global, and we won't be safe until everyone is safe. So we reaffirmed our solidarity with third countries through COVAX and the sharing of vaccines with our neighbourhood and beyond. For instance, just yesterday, 600,000 doses of COVAX vaccines were sent to Ghana, the first to be shipped and delivered. With more than €2.2 billion already donated by the European Union and Member States, we are a leading contributor to COVAX. And we agreed to continue working on a way to share vaccines, and especially health workers should be among the first protected. Our help should go all those in need, including in Africa, Western Balkans, Eastern Partnerships, Latin America. We also started discussions on the lessons learned from this crisis and how to make our health systems stronger and more resilient for the future. Multilateral cooperation is key, not only to tackling COVID-19, but all future health threats. We are committed to improving global health security through a strengthened World Health Organization, and I proposed an international treaty on pandemics, and we are getting more and more support for this idea, not only in Europe, but also outside of Europe. Je voudrais adresser maintenant quelques...
Could I just make a number of comments about the state of play and where we stand in the combat against COVID-19? I think we have to face the truth that there is indeed a difficult situation. There is considerable pressure in all our member states, and our people have great expectations of us, that they will be able to recover an ability to live freely. And, of course, there's all this impact on the economy and the social situation. We know that the next few weeks will continue to be difficult as far as vaccinations are concerned. However, I would at the same time like to give a message of hope and optimism. As we saw in our discussion, we do have the means, we have the resources, we have the capability to succeed over the next few months. We can ensure that the EU plays an essential role, not only here but internationally, to get us all out of this crisis that we've lived through for more than a year now. It's a year since the first video conference, which was called in order to try to get a grip on this crisis. In the last year, we have met with some successes, but we've also come across difficulties. We've lived through some very hard times. What we can say is that a year later, we are more familiar with this virus, its variants and mutant versions. A year later, we've managed to see vaccines being produced, and there's a massive vaccine effort in Europe, which will have to grow, will have to increase over the next months. So certainly, I think we should be truthful, but I'd also like to put across a message of hope.
On Russia, we will have a strategic debate in March on our relationship with Russia. And I would like to repeat again, we condemn the treatment of Alexei Navalny and we demand his immediate release. On Monday, foreign ministers reached a political agreement to impose restrictive measures against those responsible for his arrest and sentencing. And the decision will be formalized next week in the framework of the new European Global Human Rights Sanctions regime. We also strongly condemn the attack on a delegation travelling on a World Food Programme field visit in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and to express our deepest sympathy to Italy and our condolences to the families of the victims. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.